Good evening. We welcome you to Greybull, Wyoming. Tonight, where the Greybull Buffs are going to be hosting the Mountain View Buffaloes in a final regular season game for both of these 2A teams here in the state of Wyoming, and it should be a fantastic matchup here tonight. We'll tell you a little bit about stats from previous portions of the year, and we'll show how these two teams match up. It really should be one heck of a show going on here tonight. We'd like to thank our sponsors here on mylocalradio.com. They include Rocky Mountain Yeti out of all of southwestern Wyoming. You'll find Rocky Mountain Yeti in Pinedale, in Evanston, over in Star Valley, and other places. Rocky Mountain Yeti, a new car dealership. Actually, a group of car dealerships. Also, thank you to Chad's Automotive of Evanston. Thank you to the Wyoming Dental Specialties, to Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet of Evanston, to Westar Printing and Rocky Mountain Signs, and also to My Local Radio and the Co-op, helping small business owners get the word out about their business to more people than ever before at a far better price. That's what it's all about. Find out more about the Co-op. You can call 307-746-8116. That's 307-789-8116. And ask about the Co-op. Well, it is about 7 minutes before we get underway, 7.5 minutes. I know that they're going to be doing the national anthem here in a couple of minutes as we get ready to get underway. Earlier tonight, they honored their seniors here in Greybull. Had 4 of the seniors they honored and called them and their parents out on the field with and gave them the honors that they deserve, told some of the plans that they have moving forward. So with me tonight on the microphone, we have AJ Lamb. Thank you, AJ.
Good evening, Val. How are you doing today?
Doing wonderful, thank you. What about this matchup tonight? We talked about it a little bit on the way up the road coming out of Evanston earlier today, and about the different stats as these two teams match up. Mountain View, of course, is 5-0 in conference play. They are 6-1 overall for their standings this year. Greybull is 3-2 in conference play and 4-3 overall. But that doesn't tell the story.
It doesn't, Val. It's wonderful to see these two explosive teams coming out. Both of them are hard hitting on the ground. So we're going to see a very, very exciting game tonight.
There are 14 categories that main categories. I mean, there's a lot more than 14, but I'm talking like rushing yards, passing yards, receiving yards, all-purpose yards, offensive points, tackles, longest rush, longest punt, long field goal, etc.
Just hitting the main important ones.
Yeah, right? of the 14 main categories that they take down every week in high school football here in Wyoming, eight of those 14 were covered by one of these two teams or one of the players on these two teams in last week's game.
Oh, man.
That is how close this is going to be. Let's talk a little bit about the offense. Of course, Glenrock is the powerhouse in offense. They are a rushing powerhouse. They are ranked number 1 in 2A in the state. Last week, they had 429 yards rushing on the ground. Glenrock did. And so definitely a powerhouse. But when you look at other statistics, by the way, in rushing, Mountain View was number 7 last week with 178 yards. Greybull had 96 on the ground. Now you turn that over to the team passing, where Greybull had 182 yards and Mountain View had 164 yards. So offense kind of, close in there. Overall standings, Mountain View is ranked second behind Greybull for year-to-date standings in offense with an average of 343 yards per game, while Greybull has 278 yards per game. So there's only a 50, 60-yard difference there in total offense per game for these two teams. Once again, could go either way if you just look at the offensive standings. But then you turn to the defense, and Mountain View, their team defense was number 4 last week. They allowed 140 yards against them in their shutout win against Kimmer, and Greybull allowed 200 yards. So there's a 60-yard difference in allowed yards. That's rushing yards. The pass defense, Mountain View was number 1. They held their opponent to just 27 yards, and Greybull allowed 70 yards in passing. So it's the defensive side of this ball game that we're going to see the big difference tonight here in Greybull. They are getting ready to address the flag. We'll turn up the mic. Greybull High School band with the national anthem here tonight. You know, for a small school, it's pretty neat to have a band. Not a lot of small schools do get the opportunity to have bands. So 2.5 minutes away from the opening kickoff, we were talking a little bit about the defense before the national anthem, and it also shows up in regular season in the results, as Glen Rock, like I said, is 5-2 on the season. No, hang on. Greybull, Glen Rock.
Number 19, sophomore, Kimball Matson.
Anyway, in all of the games, Greybull has been scored against by their opponents. Whether it's won or lost, every team has scored in all of the Greybull matches. Where you look at the Mountain View matches, they're 6-1 on the year, and out of those matches, only 2 teams have scored, actually 3 teams have scored any points against them. The first game, they lost to Cokeville in that pre-week game, 18-0. Then the next week, they had a real close one, a come-from-behind win, 22-21 over Big Piney. The next week, they shut out Lovell. Jackson scored 6 points, and then they've had 3 straight shutouts. So it talks a lot about the effectiveness of the defense for the Mountain View Buffaloes, ranked number 2, right behind Glen Rock, in the state in 2A football. As they introduced the starting lineups for the Mountain View Buffaloes, now they are going to just introduce the team as a whole for the Buffs of Greybull. You see them coming back off the field, and we're getting ready to get underway. They had the tip about 25 minutes ago. They flipped the coin to see who was going to kick, and I missed the results of that. So we will get, well,
MyLocalRadio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah high school events, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what MyLocalRadio.com has for you.
Find out what they have available for you. Looks like the Buffs are going to line up to, as they said, Riley Hill. Well, no, he's one of the upbacks. Number 6 back there, that's Caleb Bottom for the Buffs. He's to the far side of the field in the lineup. Greybull getting set to kick. Their kicker's ready. The line is in place, and we're about to get underway.
It's Friday night. Let's play some football, Val.
And one of the upbacks picked it up. That's number 13, Miguel Gomez for the Buffs, and he picks up about 11 yards on the run back from where he picked it up off the bounce. It looks like the Buffaloes are going to take up their first possession on their own. They're shuffling the ball around. On their 27-yard line to start their first possession. First down. Riley Hill is the quarterback for the Buffs. Up under center, he hands off to his up back and immediately swarmed under at the line of scrimmage. He might have picked up a foot or two, but at the line of scrimmage, I can't even tell you who was in on the tackle. We'll just say all of Mountain View's team was in on that tackle.
They all swarmed in really deep there, Val.
And they're going to say he picked up about 1.5 yards, 2 yards. So 2nd and 8 for the Buffs. Once again, up under center. He has 2 wide to each side, 1 deep back. He's looking to pass. He fumbles. The ball is fumbled, and it is picked up by Mountain View, number 74 for Mountain View. That would be Jonathan Anderson with the recovery. I didn't see what caused Hill to fumble that ball. There were a couple of Mountain View players back there almost trying to hit him and sack him up, and all of a sudden the ball just popped out from behind a couple of the defensive players, and Anderson was there to fall on it. So this will be a turnover.
Anderson had some great awareness to find that ball after that.
He did, yes. See that pop out from behind his other defensive players. So here Mountain View goes on offense. Out of the shotgun, off the right side of his offensive line, and it looks like the end or one of the linebackers, number 10, that's that's Riley Hill, the quarterback for the Buffs, brings him down, but not after a pickup of 3. So it'll be 2nd and 7 from the Buffalo's 20-yard line. Mountain View has possession. Out of the shotgun, man in motion. And it's a hike directly to the back that was standing by the quarterback. And Brigham Blumel got the snap from the center, went off the left side of his line to pick up. That'll be another 5 or 6. It's going to be 3rd and 2 for Mountain View from the 14-yard line of, and it is a Kimball Madsen took it up the middle and took it in for a Mountain View touchdown. I was faked out. I was watching the guy go around the other side of the line, but he takes it right up the middle, runs to the left side of the field and into the left corner of the end zone for a 6-point lead for Mountain View as they get ready to kick now. Kimball will be holding the ball. No, he's kicking the ball. Kimball will be kicking the ball. Just kneeling down and getting his foot tied up the way he likes it. And it is up, and it is good.
1:30 in, Val. We are already seeing the explosive offense of the Mountain View.
The defense went in and made the turnover, got the fumble recovery, excellent field position, and 3 plays later it's a touchdown Mountain View and a 7-point lead. So set in Greybull as they get ready for the kickoff. We'll take a break. You're listening to Mountain View Buffaloes football on mylocalradio.com.
We sell fun. Come see and feel the fun when you shop at Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley. You and your family will have fun year-round in the water with personal watercraft, in nature driving your side-by-side or riding your four-wheeler, or in the mountains on your snow machine. It's always fun at Cache Honda Yamaha, no matter what the season is. Our showroom is full of inventory to choose from. Start having more fun today. Visit Cache Honda Yamaha between Logan and Smithfield on Highway 91. We sell fun.
History from the gangsters of the past like Babyface Nelson, Pretty Boy Floyd, and Bonnie and Clyde at the Legal Tender restaurant located inside the Best Western Dunmore Inn. In 1957, retired FBI agent Jack Dub Mills purchased the motel. During his FBI career, Dub worked with many other famous agents like Elliot Ness and Sam Cowley to take the criminals down. From the names on the menu to the nostalgia on the walls, notorious figures from the 1920s are all around. Come and enjoy a delicious meal surrounded by history today at the Legal Tender restaurant, 1601 Harrison Drive, Evanston.
Everybody gets rock chips at one time or another in your vehicle window. From now on, anytime you get a chip in your windshield, don't think, oh booger. Instead, think T-Bar Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston, home of the 1995 rock chip repair. Rock chips are fixed in minutes, and the team at T-Bar Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston will come to you, or you can stop by the shop. T-Bar Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston, home of the 1995 rock chip repair. Call us today.
When you have your vehicle serviced by the experienced, certified technicians at Rocky Mountain Yeti, you'll have a legendary experience. With a comfortable customer waiting area, you can watch the big screen television or use the free Wi-Fi while you enjoy free hot waffles with ice cream. Our professional technicians work on all makes and models and handle everything from routine service to major repair. Stop in today, 100 Wasatch Road, Evanston. Visit www.yetiauto.group. Rocky Mountain Yeti, legend driven.
Superior Rental is Evanston's only full-service rental equipment store. We have what you need to get the job done. Backhoes, trenchers, excavators, air compressors, jackhammers, concrete tools, hammer drills, aerators, tillers, power rakes, forklifts, log splitters, tables and chairs, popcorn, snow cone, and cotton candy machines. Alright, you get the picture. You don't have to own when you can rent. From Superior Rental, 371 Prospector Drive in Evanston.
What lives in your ductwork? Creepy, crawly spiders, rodents, old pet hair and dander, dust. It's a fact. Whatever's lingering in your ductwork is the same thing you're breathing in the air.
I've got great news. The professionals at Landmark Plumbing and Heating have all the equipment needed to clean out the ductwork in your house. This is Lane Bowen, owner of Landmark Plumbing and Heating. Let us help you breathe easier by cleaning out your ductwork. Call us today to schedule an appointment. 789-8793.
Come out of the timeout and back to punt for Greybull. A little pooch cunt. They're going to let it roll, and it goes into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 20, where Mountain View will take it over with 1:44 left in first half. And it will be 1st and 10 for the Buffaloes from their own 20.
A first half 2-minute drill here, Val.
That's it. Going to see some passing here in the next 1:44. And they show it on the field. They have 2 wide to each side. This time they have Braden Walk back in the quarterback position. Passes it out to Kimball Madsen, who makes the reception.
But there is a flag on the field.
Another flag down. That was a mix-up. Madsen is the quarterback. He was out receiving the ball. Braden Walk is the receiver, and he was the one passing the ball.
Another false start on the Mountain View Buffalo.
Oh, illegal formation, which is the same as offsides. I mean, the same penalty as an offsides call. They must have one of the players lining up wrong at the line. That's the third time that has been called illegal formation on Mountain View in this first half action. Handoff goes up the middle. Blumel with the run. That's going to take him back to about the original line of scrimmage, the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 10 now. Out of the shotgun. Snap goes low. He's able to control it. Oh, and the pass goes across the middle. Incomplete. Was headed for Kimball Madsen once again. And this time he just couldn't bring it in. That pass was right on the money, too. Braden Walk, a sophomore, showing some good quarterback skills. Okay, 1 wide to the near side, 3 wide to the far side. Again, Walk gets it. He runs, looks like he's going to run, then he sees an opening and tries to pass it. It goes incomplete, so it's going to be 4th and 10. 4th and 10 from their own 20 for Mountain View with 58 seconds left in the first half. And we're going to see a punt. Kimball, the punter for Mountain View, Kimball Madsen, going to punt from his own 5-10-yard line. Another Mountain View bounce, out of bounds at the Buffs 47, 48-yard line. We'll see where they mark it. They're going to take over. The ball down on the 47-yard line of the Buffaloes. They have 53 yards go for a touchdown if they're going to make one in the next 49 seconds. That's how much time is left in this second quarter and first half here in Greybull tonight. Back to pass, gets some pressure on, breaks the pressure, and then another Mountain View defender hits him. That number 50 or 60, number 50 for, that's Hunter Gross with the tackle. And the Buffs are going to take a timeout. They're up by 11. I guess they want more before the end of the second quarter. We'll take another break, too. You're listening to Mountain View Buffaloes football on mylocalradio.com.
Welcome to Chad's Automotive. How can I help you?
You know you have the best mechanic when you find yourself referring your friends to him. A large number of customers at Chad's Automotives are referrals from other satisfied customers. Chad and his team are honest and do their best for every single customer. When you think about it, if you wouldn't refer your mechanic to a friend, you're probably using the wrong mechanic. Call Chad's Automotive today. Everything from routine maintenance to major repair. 307-789-8263. That's 307-789-8263.
By Benedict's in Mountain View. We appreciate their support of our broadcasts here on mylocalradio.com. Looking to pass. The Buffs find their man open. Looks like Kiesel again with the reception. He had to go low and kneel down to catch it, but not before a first down. So about an 11-yard pickup. That'll move the chains. Maybe 12-yard pickup we'll give him. Ball sitting on the 41-yard line with 26 seconds, 25, 24, the clock running. Quarterback under center, man in motion, looking to pass again. And he has another man open. This one goes out of bounds at about the 15-yard line after a 25-yard pickup. Well, whatever they called in their timeout, they had 53 yards to go. Now they have 15 yards to go, and they've only played 2 downs. Still 13 seconds on the clock. Second quarter.
What a great play. Great pass, a non-selfish receiver to get the extra yard and then get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Yep, very good. Again, looking to pass. And And it's going to go incomplete. He got a lot of pressure. There were two Mountain View players back there. They had their hands all over the quarterback. One of those, number 22, Harlan Benedict, he had, and I couldn't get the number off the other Mountain View player that were pressuring the passer. He had to throw it. He found a receiver, but the receiver couldn't control it. Ball hit the ground. Probably a good thing. He would have caught it for a loss. So now it goes back to the line of scrimmage.
And you're up 15 points, Val. Passing the ball is pretty dangerous at this point.
Yeah. Good point. But again, under center. One wide each side. Man in the backfield, and a flag comes out from Mountain View's side. And this will be offsides by the offense. So they'll move the Buffs back 5. I think that's the first penalty I can remember of the whole game on the Buffs, on Greybull.
They've had 2.
Oh, have they? Okay. Seems like all of them have been against Mountain View. Changing the game clock, so there's 7.3 seconds left in this, the first half of action. It will be 2nd and 15 for the Greybull Buffs. They're going to send one wide to each side. They'll have one man in the backfield, a couple of tight ends. Look for another pass attempt with 7 seconds left in the half. Back looking for a man, and he picks up a man. The ball is caught. Number 13, that is Miguel Gomez, the receiver for the Buffs, but there was Braden Walk right there, to great open field tackle to knock him down. So as we go into halftime, we have the Greybull Buffs at 22. We have the Mountain View Buffaloes at 7 as we begin the halftime here in Greybull tonight. Wind was with us when we started action tonight, but it has calmed right down here. It is good. You know, they're not going to let them start the half yet. They are calling Mountain View back to the field. Now they say we're going to mark off. We'll wait for him to tell us what he's doing. Oh, he says that's the half. Okay. So they picked up the ball. They waved off whatever penalty the refs were discussing. They had called Mountain View back out. The Mountain View was headed for the locker room. They called him back onto the field, and then the referee just picked up the ball and says that's the half. So, like we said, Greybull Buffs 22, Mountain View Buffaloes 7. It's halftime here in Greybull here on this Friday night. We're going to take a break. We've got to come back and take a look at what's going on with some of the playoff ramifications, as this being the last regular season weekend for both volleyball and football in the state of Wyoming. So we'll talk a little bit about that as we go through our half here in Greybull tonight. You're listening to Mountain View Buffalo Football on mylocalradio.com.
You're in good hands when you choose Dr. Stosage and Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties for dental implants and wisdom tooth extractions. They work with passion and focus. They use techniques and technologies that are modern and precise. With 2 decades of experience, their skills are highly specialized. If you need teeth extractions or dental implants placed, come see Dr. Stosage or Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties, 50 Park Road, or call us at 307-789-9034.
Attention sports teams, coaches, athletic directors, administrators, and parents and fans of high school sports all across Wyoming. When you're in Casper, stay at the Hilton Garden Inn Casper. With spacious guest rooms, a beautiful indoor pool and hot tub, and delicious family restaurant, you'll find everything you need to have your athletes rested and ready to do their best. For all of your team and fan hotel accommodations in Casper, call 307-266-1300. The Hilton Garden Inn, Casper.
It's Truck Month going on right now at Auto Farm Castle Rock in Evanston. Receive 0% financing for 72 months on select models or get 20% off select models. Receive up to $3,500 in bonus cash. Auto Farm is stuffed with vehicles at the guaranteed lowest prices. It's Truck Month going on now at Auto Farm. 0% for 72 or 20% off. Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Auto Farm, Castle Rock Chevrolet. We're a different kind of dealer.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires that offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
Sign up now for the new Sync RX program at City Drug.
Your prescriptions will be synchronized to be refilled the same time each month.
Save time and reduce your visits to the pharmacy.
The staff at City Drug will resolve insurance issues and call your doctor for refills in advance.
We'll make all the calls.
Your prescriptions will be ready the same time each month.
No waiting. Simple and easy. The Sync RX program is free. Stop in today to sign up.
City Drug, your local hometown pharmacy in downtown Evanston.
MyLocalRadio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah high school events, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what MyLocalRadio.com has for you.
No matter what you need to have printed, Westar Printing is the place you want to have it done. Calendars, letterhead, envelopes, brochures, books, posters, vinyl banners, business forms, announcements, wedding invitations, and business cards are just a few examples. You can also have your favorite family photos printed on canvas or placed into a personalized family photo calendar. You will want to do business with Westar Printing. Stop in today. Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston.
Coming back to halftime here in Greybull tonight, where Mountain View is down by, what is that, 14, 13 points? 15 points. I learned how to do math in Utah, so forgive me. Yeah, it's 22-7. Greybull is up here in Greybull tonight, where Mountain View and Greybull are matching up for their final regular season games of the year. Mountain View, of course, at this point is ranked number 2 in 2A football here in the state, right behind Glen Rock. But Greybull is showing them a little what for here tonight. So,
you know, they just found out they're going into the playoffs. They're
right?
Extremely excited. It's senior night. This is almost to be expected, a high offense, explosive offense in the rush, and what we've seen tonight, a great passing team.
Yeah, they've been doing very, very good with their passing, and it hasn't been the defensive battle in the first half that I thought it was going to be. It just didn't show up that way here in Greybull tonight. But as we look around at some of the other things going on, a big congratulations to the Lyman High School volleyball team as they defeated Mountain View last night 25-22, 25-22, and 25-20, and maintained and solidified their number 3 ranking in the state of Wyoming in 3A volleyball. So they will be going into next week's regionals, Lyman will, as the number 1 seed for the West Regionals in 3A volleyball. So it should be some good action. That'll be coming to you from Riverton next week. Now, we would love to take our cameras up there, but anytime you get into state playoffs, they are governed by the Wyoming State High School Activities Association. And they sanction all of those, and they have sold the rights to a company from out of state that charge people a pay-per-view to watch the games if they decide to carry them. So we'll have to keep our cameras away, but we'll post up scores for you as we can on our website at mylocalradio.com. We'll do the same with our football games. Going into the playoffs, Mountain View, I'm sure, will be hosting, I would bet, Newcastle next week. That would be my guess. I don't know how the Newcastle game came out tonight, but I do know that Newcastle has a chance of being in Mountain View to start the playoffs next week. So, but once again, sanctioned by the Wyoming High School Activities Association, and if somebody covers it, it'll be that company from out of state. And you'll have to pay to watch that game. We'd love to be there to bring you that, too. In cross country, let's start on the east side. The regionals were held last week, as people from Mountain View know, because the West regionals were held at Mountain View. But over on the eastern side of the state, in the boys, the 5,000-meter run, Warland High School came away with the number 1 spot. Their team defeated Buffalo High School in the number 2 spot, followed by Douglas, Newcastle, Torrington, Rollins, Thermopolis, and Wheatland, bringing up the number 8 spot. That was in the boys' 5,000-meter run at the regionals last week on the eastern side of the state. For the girls, Warland High School beat it for the girls. So both boys and girls from Warland are number 1 seeds out of the east going into the state. Warland High School girls were followed by Newcastle High School. Then it was Rollins, Torrington, Buffalo, Thermopolis, Wheatland, and Douglas rounded all of that out. On the western side of the state, in varsity girls, it was Star Valley taking the first place in regionals. In fact, the boys and girls teams from Star Valley both won in their divisions. Star Valley in the girls division was followed by Cody, then Riverton, then Lander Valley, then Lyman, Mountain View, and Powell rounding out the 7 in the western regionals last weekend. In the boys, like I said, Star Valley won it. They were followed by Cody, number 2. Then it was Mountain View, Lander Valley, Powell, Riverton, and Lyman wrapping up the 7th place for the 5,000 in cross-country regionals last weekend. So that's some of what's going on and some of how things are going to stack up and look like they might be stacking up around the state as we look ahead to some of the playoffs in various sports and state meets. We're at halftime here in Greybull. It is Greybull 22, Mountain View 7, as Greybull showing some potent offense, an 82-yard run for a touchdown, a couple of receptions that have gone for 40 and 45 yards. It's been a good first half for Greybull. 22-7. We're going to take another break. You're listening to Mountain View Football on mylocalradio.com.
History from the gangsters of the past like Babyface Nelson, Pretty Boy Floyd, and Bonnie and Clyde are at the Legal Tender restaurant located inside the Best Western Dunmar Inn. In 1957, retired FBI agent Jack Dub Mills purchased the motel. During his FBI career, Dub worked with many other famous agents like Elliot Ness and Sam Cowley to take the criminals down. From the names on the menu to the nostalgia on the walls, notorious figures from the 1920s are all around. Come and enjoy a delicious meal surrounded by history today at the Legal Tender restaurant, 1601 Harrison Drive, Evanston.
Everybody gets rock chips at one time or another in your vehicle window. From now on, anytime you get a chip in your windshield, don't think, oh booger. Instead, think T-Bar S Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston, home of the 1995 rock chip repair. Rock chips are fixed in minutes, and the team at T-Bar S Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston will come to you, or you can stop by the shop. T-Bar S Body Shop and Technoglass of Evanston, home of the 1995 rock chip repair. Call us today.
When you have your vehicle serviced by the experienced, certified technicians at Rocky Mountain Yeti, you'll have a legendary experience. With a comfortable customer waiting area, you can watch the big screen television or use the free Wi-Fi while you enjoy free hot waffles with ice cream. Our professional technicians work on all makes and models and handle everything from routine service to major repair. Stop in today, 100 Wasatch Road, Evanston. Visit www.yetiauto.group. Rocky Mountain Yeti, legend driven.
Superior Rental is Evanston's only full-service rental equipment store. We have what you need to get the job done. Backhoes, trenchers, excavators, air compressors, jackhammers, concrete tools, hammer drills, aerators, tillers, power rakes, forklifts, log splitters, tables and chairs, popcorn, snow cone, and cotton candy machines. Alright, you get the picture. You don't have to own when you can rent from Superior Rental, 371 Prospector Drive in Evanston.
What lives in your ductwork? Creepy, crawly spiders, rodents, old pet hair and dander, dust. It's a fact. Whatever's lingering in your ductwork is the same thing you're breathing in the air.
I've got great news. The professionals at Landmark Plumbing and Heating have all the equipment needed to clean out the ductwork in your house. This is Lane Bowen, owner of Landmark Plumbing and Heating. Let us help you breathe easier by cleaning out your ductwork. Call us today to schedule an appointment. 789-8793.
Welcome to Chad's Automotive. How can I help you?
You know you have the best mechanic when you find yourself referring your friends to him. A large number of customers at Chad's Automotives are referrals from other satisfied customers. Chad and his team are honest and do their best for every single customer. When you think about it, if you wouldn't refer your mechanic to a friend, you're probably using the wrong mechanic. Call Chad's Automotive today. Everything from routine maintenance to major repair. 307-789-8263. That's 307-789-8263.
It's halftime in Greybull, Wyoming, where Mountain View is trailing by 15 behind the Greybull Buffs, 22-7 here at halftime. There we go. Widen that screen out a little bit so you can see more of what's going on. 3 minutes left in the halftime. Let's take a quick look. After this weekend, there's just going to be 40 teams in the state that will be going to the rest of the football matchups. All of the games scheduled for today. Well, let's start in the 2A class because that's where we're at here with Mountain View and with Lyman, the teams we cover out of Bridger Valley. Starting with the number 1 team, Glen Rock. Number 1 team in 2A football will be will be hosting Burns this evening. They started at 7 o'clock, the same time this game got underway. Glen Rock, by the way, has won 3 straight in that matchup, the Glen Rock-Burns matchup. They've won 4 of the last 5 against Burns, and with that power offense and over 400 yards a game average, it doesn't bode well for Burns, but that's why they play the game. Of course, number 2, Mountain View, you're watching them right here on mylocalradio.com as they are here in Greybull. Greybull is ranked number 5 in the state in 2A football, but Mountain View has won 4 of the last 5 against Greybull. If the Greybull will be in the playoffs with a win here, but the thing is with the Lyman loss and the Big Piney win earlier today, Greybull has already made the playoffs. They knew it before this game started that they were playoff bound for Greybull, and as AJ talked about, that might be part of the intensity that they were able to impose upon the team, not only at being senior night tonight, but the intensity of we're in the playoffs.
It's definitely apparent going on into this game just before the half.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we're here and we'll bring you the rest of this coverage. In the meantime, there are 2 teams that are tied at number 3 in 2A football. That would be Wheatland on the east side. They will be at Moorcroft tonight. Wheatland leads that series 4-0. In other words, 4 wins and no losses against Moorcroft. And here, the Big Piney Lyman game. Big Piney is number 3 on the west side. They're tied for number 3 and number 4 spots. Lyman has won 7 straight, but not today. Big Piney took over the victory. It was a 1-point victory. I want to say, I wrote it down and I can't find the notes where I wrote it on, but I want to say it was like,
wasn't it 22, 21?
21, 22 or something like that. It was something like
21-20.
It was 21-20. It was a 1-point victory for Big Piney in a well-fought game in Lyman earlier today. But with the Big Piney victory, that assures Greybull to make it into the playoffs coming up starting next week. So that's what's going on. Elsewhere, Lovell will be at Kemmerer tonight. That started at 6 o'clock. Thermopolis at Newcastle at 7 o'clock. And Newcastle has won 3 of the last 4 in that one. So the winner of the East number 3 seed for the playoffs, and the loser will be the number 4 seed in the playoffs. That's the Thermopolis Newcastle lineup tonight. So that's why I'm saying as the playoffs begin next week, it's either going to be Thermopolis or Newcastle, one or the other, that will be playing in Mountain View to start the football playoffs coming up next week. Again, here we are at halftime. Greybull, Wyoming, broadcasting on mylocalradio.com. Greybull is leading the Mountain View Buffaloes by 15 points, 22-7. Both teams got out real quickly within the first 5 minutes. Each team had a score up on the board. And then the Buffs from Greybull able to break some big plays, an 82-yard run from scrimmage for a touchdown. They were able to get a couple of receptions in. One went for over 43, one went for like 48 yards on the receptions, and set up some big plays, able to punch it into the end zone. Did a little trickery on one of the extra point attempts, got themselves a 2-point conversion, and that's how the score got to where it is, 22-7, Greybull on top, as we are going to be starting the second half here in just a moment. So we'll take another quick break. We would like to thank Randy Christofferson, a physical therapist from Achieve Sports Medicine at 109 South Main Street in Lyman. If you stop in at Achieve Sports Medicine, you'll get no excuses, just results. So when you need a physical therapist, it's Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy Christofferson helping to bring us this broadcast here on mylocalradio.com. And again, thank you to Benedict's Market and True Value in Mountain View. They've been serving their friends and neighbors in Bridger Valley since 1938. Next year, that will be 70, 80 years that Benedict's Market has been serving the people of Bridger Valley, and still serving them today, helping us bring you this broadcast. Hope you're enjoying it. The only way it could be better if the score was reversed.
Absolutely.
But anyway, thanks to all of our sponsors. We appreciate you very, very much. We wouldn't be able to be here, and nobody would be able to be watching this if it wasn't for your support of not only these broadcasts, but also of the kids playing the sports. So the whistle just blew, or the horn blew, signifying it's time to get on the field, players. That was one of the band players that tooted that horn. That wasn't the scoreboard. So if I remember right, the Buffs will be kicking off to start the second half. They'll kick off to Mountain View. Mountain View, of course, kicked off to start the game, hurried up and scored after a recovered fumble, and kicked off a second time, and that's when the Buffaloes went down and ended up tying the score. And well, here it goes. As we start the second half, the Buffs kick to the Buffaloes. Mountain View on the receiving side. That is Walk with the reception down on the 10-yard line. Gets it out to the 30. He's still running, breaks 3 or 4 tackles. He's out to the 39-yard line for a 29-yard return on the kickoff as we start second half action here in Greybull this evening. Have to stand up and move my chair back so that I can pace around like a madman like I do while I'm trying to bring you the Word's Eye view here. Out of the shotgun. Mountain View, hands off to Blumel, hits the interior of the line, and able to pick up 6 yards. An excellent run out in front was Hunter Gross, leading the way in the blocking for Blumel from the center of that line, enabling that. They're calling it a 7-yard pickup, so it's a long 7. 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4, man in motion. And this goes right to Blumel. He hits the left side of his line, and picks up, well, I want to say 3, but it's still not enough for a first down, and it was 2nd and 3. Maybe it was 2nd and 4, and he picked up 3. So now it'll be 3rd and 1. How's that?
That sounds about right.
Okay. We have 2 wide to the bottom of the screen, 1 to the top of the screen. Under center this time. It is given to Blumel, and it looks like he's going to pick up the first down. We'll look at the spot. No, they're moving the chains. They said first down.
I'm really enjoying how Mountain View came out of the locker room ready to play. Even though they're down, they're still out there pushing hard.
Executing very well. This goes to Walk. Walk goes off the left side of his line and picks up 3 on first down. They made that adjustment. They took Kimball Madsen out of the quarterback position just with a couple of minutes left in that first half. They moved him out to wide receiver. You see him as the middle of the 3 wide receivers at the bottom of the screen. They have Blumel and Walk in the backfield now. That was Walk passing to Blumel, who trying to take advantage of a screen play, but just barely gets it back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 7. And as they came out in the second half, they stayed with that formation. They stayed with Kimball out in the wide receiver spot, and Walk and Blumel are acting as quarterback and running back. Although at this point, with 3rd and 7, they're trying to set up a play. They're asking their coaches. Got to react. 4 wide to the top, 1 wide to the bottom. And I would guess this is a timeout. It could have been a delay of game, but they're not moving the ball, so it's got to be a timeout.
Yeah, they were able to call the timeout before the delay of the game happened.
All right, well, we'll take a quick one, too. You're listening to Mountain View Football on mylocalradio.com.
You're in good hands when you choose Dr. Stosage and Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties for dental implants and wisdom tooth extractions. They work with passion and focus. They use techniques and technologies that are modern and precise. With 2 decades of experience, their skills are highly specialized. If you need teeth extractions or dental implants placed, come see Dr. Stosage or Dr. Buick at Wyoming Dental Specialties, 50 Park Road, or call us at 307-789-9034.
Sorted things out. Gets Walk back to pass. Several wideouts. Way downfield. He throws into coverage. There were 2 Buffs down there defending on Brigham Blumel. One of the Buffs injured. He's still down. Taking some time getting up. Holding his knee. Is that number 5?
That is number 5. He looked like he landed on his knee relatively hard.
Corbin Adams, the injured player. Coach is going out. He's just sitting there holding his knee. Yeah, Braden Walk threw that into coverage. They had 2 Buffs on Blumel, and it could have gone either way. All 3 of them trying to catch the ball. They came down in a pile, and unfortunately, it's Adams underneath that pile.
You never want to see an injured player in high school sports, especially. Number 5 was their breakthrough player, though, and that should make the coaches a little nervous. Hopefully he gets up, he's able to work it out and be all right.
Yeah, he's moving it. He's exercising it. They're picking him up now. As you see, coming off under his own power, that's good. Mountain View took the moment to run over and huddle up with their coach on the sideline while that official timeout was going on. So they're talking offensive strategy. And it looks like they're going to do a little stunt play of some kind. Maybe this is a punt. This has got to be a punt. That's what they're the 3 backs. They're going to punt it away. It'll be 4th and 7, so let's send it over to Greybull. Ball goes down to the 20, the 19, the 15 or 16 is where they're going to down it. So that's where Greybull will take over. 1st and 10 on their own 16. Excuse me. 1st and 10 for the Buffaloes. This will be their first possession of the second half, if my memory isn't failing me, which it does at times. But they're deep in their own territory. This is a handoff. It's coming around the right side or the left side of their offensive line. And the running back goes out of bounds. They're going to mark him at the 24. It is again Castro Bray and Castro out of the backfield from that tailback position. They've run that play probably 4 times in this game, and each time he has been able to pick up some plays. He was the one that had the 82-yard run from scrimmage, and he is fast. 82 yards down when he crossed the goal line, he was running away from the Mountain View players. So again, he's at the backfield, quarterback under center, this time looking to pass to his tight end, and it's dropped, incomplete. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for Greybull. We're in the third quarter, 8:37 left in third quarter play. It's Greybull 22, Mountain View 7. This time the I formation to the second man. Castro again with the carry, this time around his right side. And he is hit hard and spun around on the far side of the field. I can't see the player's number. That's a long ways away. Number 13?
I believe it was 16, Val.
16?
But if you look closely, number 45 pulls an incredible block that allows them that extra 6 yards. Well, my apologies, extra 2 yards.
Yeah, extra 2 yards. So it'll be 3rd and 8. Again, Greybull under center. Hand again back to Castro, this time coming around his left hand. Picks up about 5 yards before number 62, that's Colby Reese. Tackles him, bringing him down. Reese was the first person to hit him. There was actually a couple of Mountain View players there.
The Buffs continue to drive on, and they're looking good doing it.
Yep, they're going right, they're going left, they're going right, they're going left, and picking up a yard or 2 each time. That's the way to do it.
Maintaining the ball, watching the clock.
4th and 1, they are going to go for it. 4th and 1, and this is a quarterback keeper. Right off the top of his center, he picks up probably 2 yards, and that will be a first down for Greybull. Riley Hill just hung on to that, lined up under center like he normally does. The offensive line got the surge, and he just followed him through for that 2-yard gain. Under center again. No wideouts. Hands it back to Castro, is immediately hit 5 yards deep in the backfield. That was Hunter Gross coming out of the defensive end position and able to hit him and bring him down. Hey, listen, as a defensive lineman, he's got to play off that defensive end. Yeah, there he is. 4 down for Mountain View. On the defensive side. Cross is on the far side of the field on the end of that front line for the defense. Man in motion for Greybull, looking to pass, and big time pressure. 4 of the defenders, including 3 of the linemen, back on top of the quarterback, and they knocked that quarterback for another 11-yard loss. Riley,
number 50, slow to get up.
For Mountain View?
For Mountain View, yeah.
That's Gross.
But he is walking to the sideline.
He's getting to the, no, he's walking it off. He turns and comes back on the field.
He's definitely a fighter. That's what I really enjoy watching Gross.
Now he goes out. Coach says, come on out, walk it off. So Greybull comes up to the line. 2 wide to each side, 1 in the backfield. Quarterback under center. Looking to pass. Goes over the middle, and this is going to be pass interference. They wrapped him up before the ball got to him. This will be pass interference on the defense. The referee was standing within 3 yards of where the action was taking place. They're marching it off against Mountain View. 15 yards.
These penalties constantly on Mountain View are really hurting them right now.
This will be one of the key stats, is how much yardage did Mountain View give up to penalties in this game, because it will be a significant amount. So it'll be 3rd and 8 instead of 3rd and 23 with a 15-yard penalty. Again, looking to pass. Hands it out, gets it out to his
tight end.
Tight end, thank you. I'm trying to think of 3 things at once. Jack Kiesel with the reception. He picks up a first down for Greybull. They move the chains again. Ball will be on Mountain View's 41-yard line. 5:46 left in 3rd quarter play here in Greybull tonight. Greybull up 22-7 over Mountain View.
There's still plenty of time in this series. The defense has to push hard, dig deep, and get that stop.
Hill under center. Hands off to Castro. Picks up maybe 2 yards. Make it 2nd and 8. No, they're giving him 7. Okay. 2nd and 7. And it looks like Gross comes back into the lineup.
He just needed a little extra breather off that play.
2 wide to the far side, 2 to the near side, back to pass. Just flares it out. Pass is caught and immediately wrapped up and brought down. He might have picked up maybe a yard. That was Miguel Gomez on the reception for the Buffs.
That screen pass was no option for the Mountain View Buffs. They smothered that in a heartbeat.
They're going to give him a yard, so be 3rd down and 6 for the Buffs. As they line up, quarterback under Sandy, I formation in the backfield. Hands it off to his 2nd man through this time, still on his feet, trying to get around the end, and he makes it. 1st down and about 4 more yards, so it looks like he picked up about 10 yards on the play. Again, that is Castro with the carry. This time he had the fullback out in front of him blocking, able to break him around that far side of the line for that 10-yard pickup.
Every time I see them make a great run, Castro makes great runs. It's because of number 45. He is constantly putting those blocks out, making sure that his runner can get those extra yards on scrimmage.
This time we have 1 wide to each side, I formation. Handing it to the fullback, 1st man through, hits the center of the line, and Mountain View stands him up, holds him still. It looks like they're going to give him maybe 2 yards as they set it down right on the 25-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and 8 for Greybull. 3:54 left in 3rd quarter action. Break the huddle. 2 wide to each side. Castro alone in the backfield with Hill, the quarterback, man in motion. Looking to pass. Has plenty of time. Now they're closing in, and the pass is complete. Caught on his knees by Brock Hill. That will move the chains again. See where they spot that. I can't. Oh, there it is. Looks like it's on the 14-yard line. So 14 yards to go for the Buffaloes for another score. Or excuse me, the Buffs. Greybull Buffs. 14 yards to go for another score. 1st and 10. And the fumble on the exchange. Quarterback picks it up and immediately is hit by 5-6 of Mountain View's players. He was lucky to recover that fumble. That'll bring second and 11, it looks like.
He miscued that snap and immediately got swallowed up.
So it'll be second and a short 11. This time they're stringing it out a little bit. Too wide to each side, just Castro in the backfield looking to pass. And a sack. And a fumble. Mountain View indicating they've got it. We haven't seen the refs now say it's Mountain View ball. They'll pick it up on a 20. Fumble off of a sack. Again, that was Gross hitting the quarterback. A few other Mountain View players hit him, and the ball came out. And it will turn it over. So it'll be 1st and 10 from just outside the 20-yard line of Mountain View as they take over. Sending 3-4 wide, 2 to each side. 2 men in the backfield. Looks like Walk gets the snap, and he passes, and it's knocked down by Greybull, number 51, Caden Ellardy.
I think if he was
Elardy.
just a moment sooner,
yep.
Could have been an interception.
Gigantic knockdown for Elardy for the Buffaloes. So again, Mountain View showing pass. 2 wide to each side. Walk in the backfield, gets the snap, looking to pass, rolling out, getting under pressure, and a sack. Big time sack. He's going to end up losing about 15 yards. They're going to mark it at maybe 14 yards back from what was the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd and 24 for Mountain View. They're back on their 8-yard line.
Man, that play broke down real tough, real devastating for the Mountain View Buffs.
Just some good defense for the Buffs, covering up all of his receivers. This time he gets it strung out. That would have been a first down, but his receiver couldn't quite get underneath it. He was trying to hit Caden Stoll with that reception. It was long enough. It just, Caden couldn't get underneath it. So it'll be 4th and 24, or somewhere in that vicinity. 4th and awful long, and they're going to go back into their end zone and punt it away. So from out of his own end zone, punter hits it solid. Again, a beautiful bounce for Mountain View. And they're going to down it on the 42, 43-yard line for Greybull. So 58-yard punt that time. Greybull will take over from their own 43-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 with 1:15 left in 3rd quarter action here in Greybull tonight. When we started the night, it was very, very windy. In fact, right before it started, there was quite the little snowstorm, or rainstorm rather, here in Greybull. Then the wind died off. This second half has been beautiful football weather. Here comes Castro. He breaks the end, gets away from his tackles. He is the speedster, and another 57-yard run for a touchdown. He had one in the first quarter that went 82 yards for a touchdown, and it was the same play. It went around the same side, ran down the same sideline. So play has worked twice for him in this game.
They've caught him twice on that play, giving him 14 points each time. Man, if they don't go back to their coach and they say target number 16, I don't know what's going to happen.
Setting up for the extra point. Ball is down. The kick is blocked. Extra point, no good. So as we look at the scoreboard, the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard, we see 1:03 left in 3rd quarter. We see the Buffs at 28, the Buffaloes 7, and that's what's happening here at this moment with Mountain View Buffaloes football on MyLocalRadio.com.
Attention sports teams, coaches, athletic directors, administrators, and parents and fans of high school sports all across Wyoming. When you're in Casper, stay at the Hilton Garden Inn Casper. With spacious guest rooms, a beautiful indoor pool and hot tub, and delicious family restaurant, you'll find everything you need to have your athletes rested and ready to do their best. For all of your team and fan hotel accommodations in Casper, call 307-266-1300. The Hilton Garden Inn, Casper.
Well, a 57-yard run for by Castro for the the Greybull Buffs. Why do I want to keep calling them Buffalo Buffs? No, the Greybull Buffs, and puts another 6 points up on the scoreboard. So it is now a 3-score lead for the Buffs with 1:03 left in the third quarter. Greybull kicking off. Back deep is Walk. And Blumel, one of the upbacks, picks it up at the 30-yard line. He's able to get it across to the 36-yard line before being brought down on the run back off that kickoff. So that's where Mountain View will take over.
And it's crunch time. See what this Buffalo can do. 37-yard line where they spot the ball. Mountain View has 3 wide to the short side, 2 wide to the far side. Buffs are showing blitz, man in motion. And he's looking to pass down to his one-man receiver that he had left on that far side of the field and just couldn't stretch out far enough to catch it. Jake Parkinson was the intended receiver. Buffalo's staying in position, staying home. The portion of the field that each player is assigned to control, and that's why that play didn't work for Mountain View. Greybull playing some very disciplined defense. Here we go again. Once again, 2 wide to the top, 3 wide to the bottom. This one goes to Blumel, who can't get underneath it. It looked like it would have been out of bounds if he could get underneath it. This will be 3rd and 10. He's got the arm for it.
Yes.
To settle down, make sure he's making the correct pass.
Again, it's Walk and Blumel acting out of the backfield. This time he fades to the short side of the field, and it's out of bounds. The intended receiver was Kimball Madsen. So this will bring up 4th and 10. I'm sure this will be a punt. We're going to send Kimball back to punt. Is that Castro back deep for the Buffs?
Sure is.
Again, we have a and the punt goes to the 42-yard line. Mountain View takes it out of the air and it brings it down. It was taking a Mountain View bounce. They should have let it go. Would have got a few more yards out of that punt. So the ball's down on the 38-yard line. 36 seconds left in the third quarter. It's Greybull 28, Mountain View 7. Greybull has the ball. 1st and 10 from their own 38. Handoff goes to the second man through. That's Castro. He hits the left side of his line. Able to pick up maybe 5 yards as 4 or 5 of Mountain View players teamed up to bring him down, including Trevin Peterson, who's in on that. Second and 6 is what they're showing on the scoreboard. And it looks like Mountain View wants to take, no, they're going to let it run down and end the third quarter. So at the end of 3, it is Greybull 28, Mountain View 7. You're listening to Mountain View Football on mylocalradio.com.
It's Truck Month going on right now at Auto Farm Castle Rock in Evanston. Receive 0% financing for 72 months on select models or get 20% off select models. Receive up to $3,500 in bonus cash. Auto Farm is stuffed with vehicles at the guaranteed lowest prices. It's Truck Month going on now at Auto Farm. 0% for 72 or 20% off. Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet. We're a different kind of dealer.
So they're changing ends of the field as we start quarter number 4 here in Greybull this evening. Beautiful night for football. Quite the crowd here. Senior night tonight here in Greybull. Honored their seniors before we went on to our broadcast, before the game started. At halftime, part of their senior night, there was $100 in cash donated, and one of the seniors' names was drawn. He went out and kicked a field goal and won $100 in cash.
And that was a 20-yard field goal, correct?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. Kicks himself a 20-yard field goal for $100 in cash here in Greybull tonight. Part of their senior night activities. Greybull with the ball. Turn around, they hand it back to Castro. Hits the left side of his line again. Able to pick up. We'll see where they spot it. It's going to be close to a first down. Maybe a half, no, it'll be about a yard short. As they spot it on the 47-yard line. 47-yard line of Buffalo. So it'll bring up 3rd and 2. Fourth quarter is underway. Mountain View is down by 3 touchdowns.
They want to win this game. They really got to dig in deep, make the correct plays, and definitely stop number 16.
Castro gets it again, this time off the right side of his line in the big hole. And once again, showing his speed, he goes across the goal line, running away from the Mountain View defenders. Touchdown, Greybull. Second play from center after the start of the fourth quarter, and that will end up with a, where was he at? He was on the 47, so that's a 53-yard run. He has had a 57-yard run, a 53-yard run, and an 82-yard run, all for touchdowns tonight here in Greybull.
I am not trying to downplay number 16 at all. He's been phenomenally fast, breaking out every time. But if you look very precisely, number 45, I do believe his name is
for
Zach Kessel?
Yeah.
Zach Kessel, number 45. He looks like a tight end almost. Every single time number 16 has broke through, he has made that block, that pinnacle block.
And he plays not only tight end, but he'll also come in and play as the fullback in front of Castro in the I formation, Kieselwell. So, yeah, that's an interesting observation that he'd be there to level some of those key blocks to break Castro open.
Castro's done very well, but got to give it up for Zach. Wow. Those blocks have really made the impact in this game.
So as we look at the scoreboard, we're in the fourth quarter. It says 11:03 left in the game. It is Greybull 35, Mountain View 7. And Greybull is getting ready to kick off again to Mountain View. Abraham Mendez is the kicker for these Greybull Buffs. He's been doing a lot of work this evening. Big kick, goes way back, picked up at about the 11-yard line, and Blumel slips when he tries to make a cut. He hits about the 20, 21-yard line, tried to cut to the far side of the field and slipped down on the grass. So it'll be placed on the 20, 21-yard line, very close. where Mountain View will take over. 1st and 10, just outside their own 20-yard line. Again, showing pass plays. 1 wide receiver to the near side of the field, 3 wide out to the top side of the field, 2 in the backfield. Again, walk and Blumel. Nope, excuse me. Oh, and it's incomplete. They had Kimball Madsen back there. He actually flipped that pass out and not able to pick it up. It was an incomplete pass. It hit him in the stomach.
These have been great passes.
Yes, just a lot of drop passes. You're right.
Drops on them.
You're right. There's been a lot of good passes, hitting them in the chest, in the hands, just not being able to hold on to it from the Mountain View viewpoint. Again, Madsen back, voids a tackle and gets brought down from behind for the sack. Number 51 is Gerardo Corral.
Another 10-yard loss on the game.
That'll take it back. 3rd down for the Buffaloes. It looks like 21 yards to go for a 1st down. Big time loss for the Buffaloes. This time they hand it right into the center of their line. Able to pick up about 6 yards on the play. But still 4th and 16. Well, at least they're not back in their end zone to punt this one away like they have been in a couple of them earlier in the game. Close, but not all the way into their end zone. Bad snap, able to pick it up, and then it shanks off the side of his foot. Greybull's going to take over with awesome field position on about their Mountain View 32 as the punt was low. He was able to pick it up. It went off the side of his foot, and it just didn't get any momentum or anything. It was probably a 12-yard punt, maybe.
Definitely a bad snap. I do believe number 51 on the Greybull Buffs team did get a fingertip on it.
That could have been. He was in the vicinity. So Greybull takes over. Again, out of the I formation, Kiesel, the fullback, Castro, the tailback. This time it goes to Kiesel. He hits the center of the line, picks up about 3 real quick.
It's all about clock management now for the Greybull team.
They want to run. Mountain View wants to pass. 9:17 left in the game. Score is 35-7 in favor of the Greybull Buffaloes. They have the ball. 2nd and 7. Again, the I formation, 1 wide to each side. Kiesel, the fullback, Castro, the tailback. Hill under center. This time it goes to Castro, who almost breaks that center, breaks that line again, but over to bring him down was Kimball Madsen, playing out of his backfield defensive position. And that was a 1st down for Greybull. And again, like you said, it was Kiesel with the key block that sprung him for that extra 6-7 yards on that run.
Granted, we're at about 180 rushing yards in this game. I would still hand the game ball to Zach Kiesel.
Again, the I formation. I guess they're going to work it until it breaks. Kiesel, the first man through. 1st and 10, picks up about 4 yards. Second and 6. This will be from the 17-yard line. 17 yards to go for the Buffs to score another touchdown. Mountain View needs to turn it over. Cause a fumble. So again, Riley Hill, the quarterback, under center. This time it's just Castro in the backfield. He gets the ball and fumbles it. It is fumbled, stays in, covers his own fumble. So Yeah, Castro dropped that. It went to the ground. I fell down behind some of the players on the sideline. I couldn't see it, waiting for the indication, but no indication means that Greybull maintained possession. So it'll be 3rd and 7.
You know, there's been multiple opportunities for Mountain View to score this game after those turnovers. But each and every time they seem to be bogged down.
And this time Hill is hit almost immediately. He got the snap, stepped one step back, and I couldn't see who it was. One of the linebackers blitzing came right between his guard and center and knocked him down. He just couldn't move anywhere.
Now they may be up, but you're going to see those still strong plays from Mountain View.
Yes. That knocked him back to the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be 4th and 10 from the 20-yard line, or just outside of the Mountain View 20-yard line. 4th and 10. This time they're going to go from the wishbone. They hand it off to Castro, goes around the left side and brought down by 2 of the Mountain View players. It will be a turnover on downs. Number 62, Colby Reese, one of the defenders that helped bring him down before first down yardage. So Mountain View is going to take over. It's going to be on their 16-yard line. 6:17 to go in the game. They are down by 4 touchdowns. Mountain View is down as they take over the offense. 2 wides to each side, 2 in the backfield. And it is, nope, they're saying it is not caught. He tried to trap it. It was Braden Walk out trying to receive that. Couldn't do it off of a pass from Kimball Madsen. This will bring up 2nd and 10. Madsen and Blumel in the backfield. 4 wide, 2 to each side. Madsen, this time the screen pass to Blumel. Received, hit out, fumbled, picked up by, whoa, that is a lot of action fast. That looked like volleyball.
Absolutely, it was punched right out of the receiver's hands.
Punched out of Blumel's hands. It flies up. It's picked up by one of the Buffs.
Number 50.
He starts to run for the end zone, and one of the Mountain Views wrap him up and bring him down. A flag, it comes out in the middle of all this, and now the referees are discussing. That changed hands 3 times in about a second and a half, and now they're going to walk this off against Greybull. First down, referee's mic didn't work that time. Huge first down. It is a first down and inches to go. No. Okay, so Buffs turned it over. I can't even keep track of that. It's Buffalo's ball. They have it 1st and 10 on the Mountain View 30-yard line. Hit right at the line of scrimmage. Didn't pick up the thing. Might have lost a foot. Looks like they're going to take a timeout on the Mountain View side, so we'll take a quick timeout too. On the MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard, it is Greybull 35, Mountain View 7. You're listening to Mountain View Buffaloes football on MyLocalRadio.com.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires that offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
Well, this game has definitely not been what I expected before kickoff. It has been some gigantic offensive plays by the Greybull Buffs that have just broken the score completely wide open. I for sure thought it would be a much more defensive game than this has turned out to be. It's Buffalo ball. Back to pass. Caught and brought down immediately, but not before a 5-yard pickup complete to Brock Hill for the Buffs. They're going to give him more like 7 yards, so it'll be 3rd and 3.
Now, to me, Val, you're in the playoffs. You just found out you're in the playoffs. You're up by 4 touchdowns. I say rest your starters.
We'll have to see. Other side of that is give them more experience.
Absolutely.
This goes to Castro, and he is met in the backfield by Gross. Gross hit him 2 yards deep and knocked him back for a loss. Greybull breaks their huddle. 4:37 left in the game. Hill under center. This time he's looking to pass. He hits his intended receiver. That is a Brock Hill. Little crossing pattern. Ends up with, looks like about a 7 or 8 yard gain. Enough for a first down. They're moving the chains. They place the ball on about the just inside the 20-yard line, about the 19-yard line of Mountain View. So Greybull again knocking on the door. 19 yards for a touchdown. 1st and 10 from there. Mountain View 19. Hill goes under center. Castro back. 4 wideouts. 2 to each side. Looking to pass, getting some pressure. And he hits one of his wideouts out on the flat. Picks up a couple of yards before he is knocked down. Number 42, that is Bridger Clark with the reception. Knocked down by 68.
A dangerous pass off the run, but the completion work. They're just padding the stats and looking good doing it.
Brecken Barnes, the defender, that one of the 3 defenders that hit him to knock him down after a 5-yard gain. So we're looking at 2nd and 5 now. From the short 15-yard line. Back to pass. This time he hits Castro out of the backfield, who jumps around 3 or 4 tackles and into the end zone. Put up another touchdown for Brian Castro.
Absolutely.
For Greybull.
Threads the needle. Blows off that tackle. Blows off 2 more after that to get that touchdown. Wow, what an impressive play.
Bouncing rather than running, it looked like. He was just hopping right, hopping left. Able to get that little burst of speed that he's shown so many times tonight. And a touchdown again for Greybull. Going for the point. It is a busted play. Looking to the end zone for the 2-pointer, and it does not convert. So 6 points more on the board for Greybull with 3:13 left in the game. Our MyLocalRadio.com scoreboard has Greybull 41, Mountain View 7. You're listening to Mountain View Buffaloes football on MyLocalRadio.com.
Sign up now for the new Sync RX program at City Drug.
Your prescriptions will be synchronized to be refilled the same time each month.
Save time and reduce your visits to the pharmacy.
The staff at City Drug will resolve insurance issues and call your doctor for refills in advance.
We'll make all the calls.
Your prescriptions will be ready the same time each month.
No waiting. Simple and easy. The Sync RX program is free. Stop in today to sign up.
City Drug, your local hometown pharmacy in downtown Evanston.
back to Greybull as we see their kicking team taking the field and getting ready to kick off once again to the Mountain View Buffaloes after yet another score. We'd like to thank First Bank of Mountain View. If you have any baking needs, they would like to at least talk to you about them, see if they could help. First Bank of Mountain View, helping us bring you this broadcast and all of our broadcasts from Bridger Valley Sport here on mylocalradio.com. Again, Abraham Mendez back to kick for Greybull. And it's a long one. Picked up at the 15. This is Blumel on the run back to and he's still on his feet, gets it out over the 40-yard line. That is a 33-yard run back on the kickoff, setting them up in pretty decent field position. 3:04 left on the clock. They're going to set it down at the 42-yard line of Mountain View, where they will take over on offense. Three wide to the near side, one wide to the far side, and it's a handoff in the middle to Blumel. Picks up 3 yards.
All right, Val. You've shut out 4 teams this year as Mountain View.
Mountain View, yes.
You're coming into one of your last games off the season. You got blown out. What do you take from this? Where do you go from here?
You know, it's just a matter of settling down and getting back to what they do best. I think they got pulled out of their game plan a little bit tonight. They're doing more passing than they want to. That's just my take on it. And I'm not a coach, so pick up a 5 right up the middle. Handoff went to, is that 28? Caleb Knutson?
Number 28, Caleb Knutson.
Yeah, Caleb Knutson on the carry. Walk passes, crossing pattern being run by number 27, Jake Parkinson. You know, it looks like what Mountain View has done is they've put in some of their underclassmen here in the last few minutes of this game.
I do believe so.
Seeing a couple of numbers out there on the field that I don't see that often.
Hey, they got playoffs to
Number
win
4 out there, Trevor Sweeney, is also on the field for Mountain View. 22, that's Harlan Benedict. Some of the numbers. This is Braden Walk with the pass way downfield. He has a man wide open, number 4. Oh. It is caught. He is fighting his way into the end zone. Is he there? Touchdown.
Gets it.
Touchdown, Mountain View.
Catch.
What a beautiful reception. Trevor Sweeney from Braden Walk for how many yards did that go? 60-something yards, close to 60 yards?
They were on the 48-yard line, a 52-yard reception to bring it in.
Beautiful. A couple of those underclassmen I was just talking about. Braden to Sweeney, 6 more points on the board with 1:42 left in the game for Mountain View. They're trying for 2.
Definitely showing potential for next year and hopefully years to come.
He's looking for, he's passing to his man out of the backfield. It is good. 2 points go on the board off the reception from Caleb Knutson from Braden Walk. So that will give him 8 points. The score is 41-15. Greybull is up, leading this game with 1:42 left, but a beautiful play from some of the underclassmen who were put in here in just the last series of downs and able to score in a great big long pass play, man. Sweeney caught that pass. He was about 8 yards out of the end zone. Immediately he was grabbed, or at least somebody grabbed onto his shirt and was trying to whip him around, but he fought it off and was able to keep driving and get a hand outstretched with the ball as it goes over the goal and puts the points on the board for Mountain View. So Mountain View will be kicking off with 1:42 left on the mylocalradio.com scoreboard. It is Greybull 41, Mountain View 15.
That's my favorite part about the Mountain View Buffaloes. They never show that they've quit.
Yeah.
Always pulling hard, no matter what. Got to be impressed with that. Win or lose, they're fighters, and that's why we love them here at My Local Radio.
Going to be fun to watch them go through the playoffs. Been looking for that all year.
I know I'm really excited for them.
Here comes the Mountain View kickoff. It's an onside kick. That was to be expected. It's recovered by Mountain View. Mountain View player picks it up on the Greybull 47-48 yard line. I want to make sure before, I haven't seen the indication from the ref, but that's what my eyes told me. And there's the ref telling me. It is Mountain View ball, the onside kick. They got it recovered. Beautiful onside kick. Went the exact 11, 12 yards it needed to go. And everybody on that special teams knew what was happening. They were in position to make the recovery. So here we go. Mountain View offense. Walk being flushed out. He has a man downfield. It is caught. That is number 30. That is Caden Stoll with the reception. And they're going to give him a 9-yard. And Mountain View calls a timeout with 1:26 left in the game. We have Greybull 41, Mountain View 15. You're listening to Mountain View Buffaloes football on mylocalradio.com.
MyLocalRadio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what MyLocalRadio.com has for you.
Coming back from a timeout with just 1:26 left in the game. An onside kick gives Mountain View the ball back after a 50-some-odd yard touchdown pass. They take it over in their first play from scrimmage after the onside kick, an 8-yard gain. It was another pass, Braden to Stoll, and this sets up 2nd and 2. Man in motion. And a flag goes out. It's offsides. Mountain View.
Those penalties are what really hurt Mountain View tonight.
They are. You know, I don't keep the stats here. Wish I did. But I wouldn't be surprised if Mountain View had 100 yards in penalties tonight. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
By my count, I'm looking at about 60.
And the snap is up. Walk back looking for a receiver. He has one in a crossing pattern. Intercepted. Picked off by Greybull, number 16. That is Braden Castro. He runs it all the way back to the 35-yard line of Mountain View.
What a breakout performance by Castro.
Huge interception. I called him Braden Castro. It's Brian Castro. No D in his name. Definitely speedy.
He's done some great rushing, several touchdowns, and now he gets to add an interception to his book.
An interception with a return of some 55 yards.
Oh, man.
So, from the Mountain View 36-yard line, they take a knee. They're going to let this run out. They'll take at least one, maybe two more kneel downs, and this will be the game, it looks like. Waiting for the clock. Again, he'll just take a knee. 50, 48, 47, 46.
They're definitely not showing victory formation, but
no,
that's usually how the game gets played.
He's got to take a knee at least one more and probably two more times. So this will be the end. This is how the regular season ends for both of these teams, but Number 2 ranked Mountain View, going into postseason play, will host the winner of that Newcastle Torrington game. Is that what it was? Anyway, the Newcastle game. And number 5, Greybull, will be on the road to take on one of the seeded teams from the eastern side of the state when next weekend it gets underway in football. These are 2 of the remaining 40 teams that will be on the gridiron in the state of Wyoming as football playoffs start next week. So congratulations to both of these teams. We appreciate it very much. It has been a fun broadcast. We hope you've enjoyed it too. AJ, thank you for the great camera work. We appreciate that.
Hey, thank you, Val.
And we will let you know, we'd like to thank our sponsors too. Our main sponsors include the Rocky Mountain Yeti Group, a new car dealership you'll find all over western Wyoming. Chad's Automotive in Evanston. Also by Wyoming Dental Specialties, by Auto Farm Castle Rock Chevrolet, by West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Signs, and also by mylocalradio.com. Our cameras, we are trying to make it home tonight from Greybull so that we can set our cameras up and have the volleyball game for you at noon tomorrow. That is the plan for the camera here on mylocalradio.com. But we'll see how the road treats us and whether we can actually make it down. That's a long road and a short nap before another ball game. So hopefully we'll be able to be there at noon and bring you the Pinedale Mountain View volleyball game as it happens live tomorrow from Mountain View. In the meantime, you have a great weekend. Thank you for joining us for our broadcast. Final score, 41 Greybull, 15 Mountain View. From Greybull, for AJ Lamb, thank you and good night.
Have a great night.